folks, Zach Scott here with another quick tutorial. I will warn you, I have been drinking tonight, so prepare for some goodness. Tonight I'm going to talk about probably the second most important thing in cinematography, which is, we went over the rule of thirds before, which tells you how to point your camera at an actor. Now we're going to go over line of action, which tells you where to put your camera. And so you might know this by other names. 180 degree rule is a common one, but I'll call it line of action for the purpose of this video because that's, that's the cool name. The other one sucks. And basically what it means is that when you're creating a scene, as demonstrated in this nice graphical tutorial, you'll have your characters. You'll have this guy on the right side and that guy on the left side, and all you want to do is draw a line between them in your mind, and always put your cameras on one side of the line. And that doesn't necessarily, they don't necessarily need to be facing. They could be standing next to each other and all of your cameras could be in front of them, or all of your cameras could be behind them. Just as long as all of your cameras are in a 180 degree arc on one side of them. So you could put your camera here and film the over the shoulder from this guy to this guy, and that'd be cool. But if you film this one, it would not be cool. And there's a good reason for it, and I'll get into that. I'll show you in a live example in a recent video that I did here. So let's just take this shot. So we have balls and we have this tiny little animal prints, and I'm just going to make a new camera just so that I can edit this. Oops. And I'm going to make this nice and big so that you guys can see what the hell's going on here. Yeah, go away. And yep. And yeah, so this is big. And so I'm going to copy this shot, and I'm just going to make two shots so that I can cut between them, just to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So we have shot 1 and shot 2. So we'll take shot 1 and we'll leave that exactly the same, and we'll take shot 2 and we'll make that the reverse of this shot. So looking over the animal prince's shoulders at the balls. Cool. So we're just going to move the camera around, and I'm not going to edit it. So let's put the camera on this side of the animal prints. Cool, so he's looking at balls. It's a little tricky because of this laser, but yeah, so we cut, and we cut, and we go back and forth. And did you catch it? What I did was I totally disobeyed the exact rule that I was talking about, and I'll show you exactly why that's a problem. So here we have balls on this side, and we have the prints on that side. And now if we switch it, they've switched places. So now balls is over here and the prints is over here. And if you just didn't catch that, it's yeah, so we got balls over here, and now we have the prints over here. And that's a subconscious thing that will very quickly become disorienting to your viewer. So if we just take the camera and scoot it over to the other side, we're now drawing the line between these two characters, and we're staying on the same side of it. So now, if you look at it, balls is still over here, and now he's still over here. And this has to do with where your eye is looking. So it just means that if I was using the wrong shot here, so let me fuck that up again. So if I was using the bad shot, what I would do is my eyes would be on this side of the screen, and then as soon as we cut, my eyes would no longer be looking at Atlas, and they'd have to like search the frame for him. Whereas if I'm obeying the line of action, if I'm looking at Atlas, he's still here, and then now he's still here. So he's still in basically the same place that my eyes were looking. So I'm not getting disoriented. I'm not getting confused at all. Let me show you another problem with this, which is, so let's say we're looking at Atlas, and we're looking head-on at Animal King. So, obeying the line of action, we have these two shots, and now it's Atlas looking this way, and the Animal King looking back at him. So, let me turn that off. So, actually, let me just kill progressive rendering. There we go. So, obeying the line of action, we get the illusion that these two are looking directly at each other, which is, nice because they actually are. However, if I use the wrong side of the animal prints here, now you'll see the atlas and the animal prints are looking in the same direction. So they're not necessarily looking at each other. And this is exactly what the line of action is meant to prevent. It's so that you keep spatial continuity and provide a contrast between your two shots, so that we have characters on the right side looking left and characters on the left side looking right, and the viewer doesn't get distracted, and your shots generally look nicer. This is one of those rules where I'm going to tell you straight up that there is no valid reason for you to break this rule. And then when you're good enough, you can see where I'm lying. But until then, just stick to this as much as you can. It is foundations of cinematography, and following this rule will dramatically improve anything you're shooting. So line of action, it's great, it's simple, and it will improve your stuff. Have fun.